This is my beautiful client Alexandra, and today is the big day. Starting off, I wanted to just talk to Alexandra about the trial and see what she liked and didn't like about it. It's really important to sit down with your bride and get a clear sense of what she's looking for, almost like a mini little interview. As we were talking, she mentioned that she loved how glowy and natural everything looked. She really loved the pinky and angelic tones that we used at her trial. The only thing that she really wanted changed was a more natural lash. The most important thing to her was to look like an enhanced version of herself. Before starting makeup, I always go in with a micellar water just on a cotton pad. This just gives a really clean base to work on before putting makeup. Then I'm going in with a generous amount of the Embryolisse cream. I use this before every single makeup application and I absolutely love it. Prepping the lids is so important to ensure the longevity of your eyeshadow through the day. I just used the MAC paint pot in soft ochre and set it with a translucent powder. Then I'm taking a dome-shaped brush and I'm just taking the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer in shade 2 and I'm just going back and forth in windshield wiper motions in her crease and using this as the transition shade. I'm going to be doing a really angelic look on Alexandra today. This is a look I like to call ethereal glow. I always use Steal a Kitten and Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk palette for this. I really love that the pinks lean more towards a pinky brown rather than being too bright. It's perfect for this soft glam look. I'm lining the lash line really quickly here just with a shadow and an angle brush before we apply lashes. Now for the false lashes. Alexandra really wanted a look that felt like her own lashes, just a little more enhanced. So we chose soft, natural cluster lashes and just added a few to the outer corners just for a subtle lift. Pro tip, let the glue dry about 90% before applying it so it's easier just to pop them right on with no mess. As you can see here, we're just popping on a little bit of glow to her chest, and then I'm just adding it all over the face as well. Before applying the makeup, I like to take a triangle powder puff with a bit of translucent powder and lightly set the T-zone. This helps keep oils under control. Finally going in with some MAC Fix Plus to give the skin a good boost of hydration, and we're prepped and ready to start. I usually reach for MAC Studio Fix Fluid on 90% of my clients, but I almost always mix in some type of glowy lotion like the L'Oreal Glow Lotion or the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. You could even use any moisturizer that you have. Sometimes I just use my Embryolisse cream, and this will just sheer out the coverage, especially for clients who want a more softer and natural finish. I'm using the Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the color Swan, and I mixed in a bit of the color Cloud to brighten it up just a little bit. This concealer is a staple in my kit. If my client is more mature, I will also just sheer it out with some moisturizer or glow cream. I'm always starting with all my cream products first, including blush and bronzer before setting the face. As you can see, I'm using light stippling motions to melt the products into the skin while still keeping the coverage. I'm using a simple wedge sponge just from Dollarama to blend out any creases before setting the under eyes. You do not need a beauty blender. Beauty blenders actually can harbor a lot of bacteria, so I rarely use them in my kit. If I do, they're brand new and I gift them to my client. It's finally time to set the face. Having my client look up, I take my triangle powder puff, dip it into my Huda Beauty translucent powder, dab off any excess powder, and apply a thin layer focusing under the eyes and in the T-zone. Now we're ready for all of our powders. Again, using my powder brush, I'm just stippling all of the powders in place rather than swiping. Swiping can move or lift the cream products underneath, which can make your skin look patchy or streaky. It can also really emphasize texture. Stippling presses the powder in so it sets seamlessly and gives a smoother, longer-lasting finish. Finishing touches make the biggest difference. I like to curl the lashes to give a nice lift and press a bit of powder along the lash line to blend them seamlessly. This step is key to making falsies look like your own. This is also when I like to add any extra bronzer or blush, and of course my favorite part, highlighter, to bring the whole look together. Alexandra went with one of my favorite bridal lip combos, Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Fair, paired with Whirl Lip Liner by MAC and finished with Fancy Face Lip Gloss in Whisper. I always go in and line the lips first and slightly overline just a little bit. Then I'll go in and set the whole lip with powder just for longevity. Once the lipstick is on, it's time to top with a bit of gloss. I personally like to set the face with 2 different setting sprays. First, I'll go in with the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray, and then I finish it off with the Krylon fixing spray. This is going to ensure the makeup stays in place all day long. Here's Alexandra's reaction to her makeup.
Okay. Oh wow, that's perfect.
Yeah, you love it? Good.
Yeah. Perfect.
Amazing. Good.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
So this is Alexandra's before, and this is her after. Is she not the most stunning bride you've ever seen?